today I'm going to give you my 5 top tips for keeping a positive mindset. I've wanted to do content like this for a while, as keeping a positive mindset is something I'm very passionate about and I don't think we do it enough. So I hope you all find my top tips useful. And one reason I think it's really important to take the time to work on mindset is because your mental health is just as important as your physical health, which we all know. However, a lot of people exercise, and even though exercise is good for people mentally, it doesn't always help everyone. So you need to exercise your mindset and your mental health as well. So keeping yourself happy and keeping yourself positive does take work and it doesn't come naturally. So I've made some notes, just a few brief notes, just so I make sure I don't go off track. But my first top tip is gratitude. So gratitude is a massive thing of mine, which I think we should all do in our daily lives. A book that helped me massively was Magic. If any of you have heard of The Secret, it's the second one to that, and it's called The Magic. I didn't even read the whole book, but I think I read like half of it, and it just like changed my way of thinking. It just sort of like woke me up, and it gets you into the habit of writing down things that you're grateful for, but not just writing them down for the sake of it. Really sit thinking, like, you know, it could be the smallest thing, from I am so grateful for, I don't know, my lungs, say in the pandemic at the moment, I'm so grateful for my lungs, I'm so grateful for my socks. But then it could be something big, like I'm so grateful for what someone has done for me, or, you know, anything. And it's always good to just start with 5, getting into the habit of 5 things. Write down 5 things, either in the morning before you get up to set the tone of the day, always helps you start the day positive, or 5 things before you go to bed that you're grateful for, because then when you wake up positive. And I'll always remember, someone once said to me, if you can't think of 5 things, write 10, because you're not grateful enough. So I could probably do a whole another video on gratitude. If you would be interested in that, let me know, because I could go on and on and on about it, but I don't want to babble on too much. So yeah, just start by trying to write down 5 things that you're grateful for every day, and really think about them and put your hand on your heart when you're writing them down and thinking, yeah, I really am grateful for my lungs. Like, you know, there's people out there that are struggling or whatever. Just get into that mindset. And number 2, it doesn't coincide with number 1, but they kind of come together once you get used to thinking that way. So very similar to law of attraction, if any of you are interested in that. I am big on law of attraction, but the way I explain it and the way I think of it as myself is, what you put out, you get back. So I always think the energy I'm putting out, if I'm putting out being a nice person and being positive and being polite, I'll get it back. And what you have to remember is, don't take it personal if people are rude and they're not nice and they're not positive, because all you have to think is, that's a reflection of them, that isn't a reflection of me. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And you know, if you smile at that person, I don't know, you're walking around Aldi and they're being grumpy, pushing the trolley, just being miserable, you might smile at them and then they might think, oh, you know, it might make them feel a bit more positive. And it is infectious. So just always think, what you put out, you get back. A lot of people get it mixed up with karma, which it is a bit similar to karma, but it's just more of, it is similar. But I just think once you get in that way of thinking, it trains your brain not to put out negative thoughts or be miserable or be moody, because then you think, oh, I don't want it coming back at me. It's like a boomerang. Think of it like a boomerang. I don't want to go around and be moody because I don't want people to be moody to me. And then you find it gets easier to do the more you do it. So yeah, that's one thing I try and do as much as possible, although it can be hard sometimes. And number 3 is, the universe has your back. So most of you probably think I'm balmy, but if any of you are religious, you could use the universe as God. However you want to interpret it into your normal life is absolutely fine. But all you have to do is just relax and know, no matter what's happening, what you're going through, how miserable your day is, just relax and know that the universe has your back and trust the process. So in certain times in life we might go down a path and we might think, why am I going down this path? Why is this happening? And and it's hard, and you question it, and it makes you upset and stressed. And if you say that you've not been through anything like that, then you're lying, because everyone has been through something like that. But a lot of the times when we look back, it's because the universe is putting us onto the right path, onto the path that we're supposed to be on. So just try and think, everything happens for a reason. Something good will come out of it. You have to think that way. My tip number 4 is meditate. So a lot of people don't like the idea of meditating. Some people are familiar with it, some people aren't. I actually got into meditation because when I couldn't sleep, so I started listening to a guided sleep meditation. Personally, I always prefer to listen to guided ones because it stops me from getting distracted. But then I realised how much better I felt after meditating. And I don't do it all the time. Ideally, I'd like to do it every day. I try and do it once a week. At the minute, I have been doing because I've had the time. But the ironic thing is, when you have the time, you don't need to do it as much. When you're working and a busy life and everything gets in the way, that's kind of when you need to make the time to do it more. But yeah, I always feel better after meditating. There's so many different free guided meditations for stress, anxiety, letting go, like we were talking about before, like resistance, so many different things. There are stuff for manifesting things that you want to happen, loads. And once you start getting used to it, they do become easier to do. And then you find different ones, and you find ones that you prefer listening to. But they definitely do help the mindset, and they're really good for, like I was saying before, to exercise your positive mindset rather than just physical exercise. I do think meditation is a really good mental exercise for your brain and staying positive. So I think if you don't like the idea of it, don't snub it. Just at least try it, especially if you do find you are a negative person, or you are stressed, or you find that a lot of negative things are always in your path or surround you. Definitely try it. But I do think, like I said before, all my steps that I advise, I do think they all work well together. So, and tip number 5 is super important, a really good one to finish on, is affirmations. So affirmations, very similar to your gratitudes, but it's writing down. So say if you do your 5 say if you do your 5 positive gratitudes of the day, write down also 5 affirmations of the day. So the same as your gratitude, either do them in the morning to set the tone of the day to make you feel positive, or right before you go to bed, so that you can really take the time, sit and think, what today's been, and just be present in the moment. Think about things that you want to be, things that you are happy about, but things that you want to be as well. So I'm also going to stroke affirmations with, it's just come off the top of my head now, so we're going to just add this into the video, with goals. So set goals, because setting goals is extremely good for mental health, positive mindset. You feel like you've achieved something. But how do we achieve goals? By being positive and setting affirmations. So maybe we could use this video not atop 5 tips for positive mindset, but maybe we could use it as top 5 tips for setting and achieving goals, who knows. But how I like to do my affirmations, and it sounds incredibly cringy if you're not used to it, and especially if you're not familiar with my way of thinking and my brain, but it really does help me mentally stay happy and focus on things, because you know, energy goes where focus flows, or is it focus goes? Yeah, energy goes where focus flows. So write down, like, you know, I am successful, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am anything that is I am happy, I am grateful. There's so many different things you can write, and I always find when I talk to people about writing affirmations, they're always like, oh no, I could never write that about myself. Oh, I don't think I'm pretty, or I don't think I'm this, or I don't like, it's, you're not being cocky, you're not shouting out to the world, look at me, I'm doing this. You're just reminding yourself. The way I like to think of it is, I mean, I'm not a parent. If I was a parent, I would not want my child to grow up feeling insecure, feeling unsuccessful, feeling unhappy, feeling unconfident, feeling like they look in the mirror and they feel like a failure. I would never ever like want my unborn child to ever feel like that. I don't want my friends to feel like that. So it's not, you're not being cocky, it's not selfish, it's not cringy, it's just that these are the things that we should do, and that we should have been taught from a young age. And I think I sort of have, in a way. My mum and dad have always been very uplifting and positive, but I think some people need it really transparent and need to be told. Write a list about yourself. If you've got a goal that you want to set, let's think, like, I want to be, obviously I don't need to lose any weight, but I know a lot of people might be dieting, they might think, I want to lose a stone. Write down that goal weight, and then write down, I am such a weight, I am such a weight, and keep visualising that, and that will help visualise your goals as well. But also do, you know, the things that you feel bad about yourself, try and pick out some things that you know, that make you feel good about yourself. Or I don't know, if you're good at your job, you might have a really challenging job that not many people can do. You could be a nurse, hairdresser, barber, care worker, anything. If you know, I bet there's loads of things that you could find if you think about it, and write those down. And then, so you could have, you know, your list of your affirmations, what you truly know you are good at, and that make you feel good. You could be a good parent, a good sister, brother, husband, wife, anything. And then your goals as well, because your goals, reaching your goals and going for your goals, they also make you feel better and like you're getting somewhere. And also, when you do these things, you'll notice like a frequency starts happening and things start synchronizing. So you get on this path of like certain opportunities that you might notice, whereas you might not have noticed before because you'd be in too much of a negative mindset, being worried about things that are going wrong or things that could go wrong, or making up scenarios in your head that might never even happen, but you're just stressing yourself out. Whereas when you start thinking about your gratitudes, and when you start thinking, I want to be a good person, I want to be kind, I want to be polite, and then when you think, relax, trust the process, I'm meditating because that helps me, remind me to keep calm and keep at ease with everything, and then do your affirmations. When you start to think this way, the world does become a better place, because things start happening, and you start, the things that you always say, oh, I wish that could happen, or that had never happened to me, those things start happening, and it might happen slowly, it might be over time, and like I said before, you might go down a path that you don't really want to go on, but in the end up, you do start getting to where you want to be, and then you start feeling more successful, you feel more loved, you feel more positive, and then people notice it on you as well, and then they want to be more like you, and then they, you know, people always say to me, oh, you're always so positive and stuff, and I am, but I'm not positive, and I'm I don't always think this way, but I have to work on myself and do these things to make me feel better about myself and vision the world a nice way. But yeah, try and stick to my 5 top tips. Hopefully they do help you. Hopefully I've not babbled on too much. I'm trying to keep it as short and sweet as possible, but I don't think I can do anything short and sweet because anything takes me forever, and I like to talk. I could talk forever. But I'd love any comments and feedback to what you think. But that's also a little insight onto how my brain works. Before I finish as well, a few books that I would recommend. If you haven't watched The Secret or read The Secret, that is definitely a good book to read. Magic, the second one to The Secret, I absolutely love. I haven't got any of those to show you because I lent them both out. And a book called The Universe Has Your Back by Gabriella Bernstein, which is my 3rd tip. That is an amazing book. She helps you just view the world in such more of a peaceful, at ease place. And that book could be a whole another video, talk, postcard. I will say I follow religiously Aaron Doherty's videos on YouTube. He's amazing and really helps you shift your focus, get out of your rut. He explains things in such more of an in-depth way on how to get out of your being negative and why me, and he tells it so straight but explains why and all the science behind your negative thoughts and everything. So he's definitely a really good one to listen to as well. But yeah, so I think that's everything. So gratitude, what you put out you get back. The universe has your back, so hashtag trust the process. Meditate. Meditation is so good for the soul. And affirmations. But affirmations stroke goal setting. I'm going to do that as one as well. Or you could do goal setting as number 6. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I really hope you liked this video. Let me know if you would like more videos like this, because these are the kind of stuff I'm really passionate about talking about, and I genuinely get satisfaction about helping people feel better on the inside as well as the outside. So yeah, let me know what you think. Please give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And I hope you're all staying well and staying safe and staying home. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.